Hello, beautiful parent of the Aries child. How are you? I hope you are doing wonderful. I hope you're great. I'm here to do the August reading for your little Aries. Now, the age here can vary, okay? So we have the age ranges of little itty bitty ones all the way to teenagers, maybe even a little older. It's all good. You are all welcome here. And just remember that apply gender in the way that it best resonates for you and your household. Alrighty, and if you haven't already done so, please, I would absolutely 100% appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, like, comment, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get started with how you're, okay, wow, that's, cards are flying already for your little Aries energy. Okay, let's see what's going on with your little Aries, and then we'll ask Spirit to show us some advice or ways to navigate the challenges that your little one may be going through. Okay, so first and foremost, here in August, little Aries got the Knight of Wands as well as Temperance. Beautiful. These are both very, very powerful cards. They are both fire cards. Temperance represents or is associated with the sign of Sagittarius. Knight of Wands, being a fire element, is basically what it's telling us is that your little Aries is very much feeling in his or her element here in the month of August. Now, the Knight of Wands usually indicates that there's some kind of movement happening. Also, there's a need here. There's some kind of balancing that your little one is doing here in the month of August. And the balancing can, run the gamut, right? So the balancing can be, balancing friendships with schoolwork or schoolwork with chores, or, hanging out with the family versus hanging out with their friends and whatnot. So there's a feeling here that your little Aries in the month of August is kind of wanting to move away from needing to balance. In other words, there's a need to balance, but your little one is moving away from that, or almost doesn't want the responsibility. Or you may feel that if you have a little Aries that's generally pretty balanced and pretty good at, spending time with friends or doing, their schoolwork or their athleticism, depending on what age they are, right? Generally speaking, you may feel that your Aries is pretty well balanced. However, here in August, there's a sense that your little one is kind of moving away from that balance, and it doesn't feel negative at all. Maybe that is actually balancing. I know that sounds a little weird, but maybe the act of not balancing or not being so measured is actually what's going to benefit your little one. There's something about this moving away from being too calibrated. Also, another thing that could be happening here is that your little one could have experienced a time of illness, a time of forced healing because either they were sick or someone in the family was a little bit sick, because the Temperance usually indicates a time of healing, a time of rest, a time of balancing. If someone has gone through some kind of illness, that's one way that the Temperance can play out. So this could just very simply indicate that your little one's coming out of that rest period and that illness, or that a loved one or a caretaker is coming out of that. So now they're starting to feel a little bit more like themselves, because the Knight of Wands is very Aries, right? It's a fire element. It's very much about movement forward. It's very much about taking on the new hobbies, the new playmates, and kind of going out there and exploring, utilizing raw energy and physicality. It's also a very energizing card. So this is feeling very good to me. So whether it's because they're not wanting a balance, or what I'm picking up here, dear parent, is that you may be feeling, for some of you, that your little Aries is maybe going off kilter because they're not balancing what they normally balancing. Yet what this is telling me is that's actually kind of what they're needing right now. So even though your little one may come across to you as out of whack a little bit, or out of their usual, like they're in rare form, that's actually okay. It's actually benefiting them somehow. Of course, assuming it's not anything dangerous, right? I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about their usual going-ons and ways of relating with the world in general, with their surroundings, the way they do their day-to-day. That's for one group of you. For the other group, it's just very simply Aries is starting to feel more like themselves because they're coming out of an illness or a loved one or caretaker is coming out. And of course, that is very prevalent right now, right? So that is very highly and likely at the current moment, considering we're still in the middle of this pandemic. So anyhow, moving away from that, let's see what the challenge here could potentially be for your little one. Actually, okay, I just heard Spirit wants me to use these cards for the challenge. Okay, what's the challenge for Aries? Oh, it's like it wants to, but there it is. Okay, so the challenge for little Aries here in August is that things are changing. So what used to be the norm is no longer the norm. So this is definitely, this could be why there's a sense of moving away from a balance. So I'm picking up here that there are some of you that are having your own big life changes, like maybe you're moving or getting a new job. There's something going on in the world of the adults that's forcing a change in the world of the little one. And you yourself may be feeling that maybe you're throwing your little one off kilter or off balance, but don't fret so much about that, dear parent, because what I'm picking up here is that off kilter that you may be feeling guilty about. Like maybe you feel like, oh my God, I'm throwing this new life at my new one, at my Aries, and he or she is like totally off balance now. It's actually kind of good for them right now. It's a way of piquing their interest and curiosity. It's bringing something different into their element, and that's okay. It will pose a bit of a challenge temporarily here in August because the Wheel of Fortune did come up as the challenge, but that's how Aries learn. Okay, Aries are very much about overcoming challenges. It's what makes them, and I know I'm speaking generalities here, and yes, in general, those type of challenges are actually very beneficial for Aries because that's how they learn life skills, right? Like the action, things changing so that they come up with solutions. So yes, that's going to be a bit of a challenge here, but let's see anything else, any other clarification on the challenge for little Aries, the month of August 2021. Nope, is that it? Okay, that's it. That's plain and simple. So that's it. So plain and simple, the challenge for your little one here is change and doing things differently. And this is exactly why it's okay to be off kilter a bit, because it's teaching your little one mutability. It's teaching, the Aries is a cardinal sign. So Aries is very comfortable with starting new things and learning new things. However, once a new thing has been started, Aries can kind of flip-flop. And again, I know I'm speaking generalities here, but Aries can then, once a new thing has begun, the mutability of it or the changeability of it can become a little difficult for them. So this whole Wheel of Fortune thing that's happening in your life is actually going to turn around and teach them how to flow with the changes, how to go with the changes, and how to find solutions within that. Okay, so let's see your advice, dear parent, in terms of how you can help them better navigate this. Very nice. Very, very nice. So you've got it all under control, dear parent. So you've got the Ace of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. And the question here was, what is it that you as a parent can do to help them better navigate this challenge? And it's very simple. Continue giving them the love that they need. This is about showing and expressing love and allowing them to find their own new creative and own new friendships through this process. But in terms of you, the parent, what you can do is just continue showing them, if things are inconsistent in your household, then you can show consistency through your affection towards them and your love and playing with them, because this is very much about introducing new elements and new ways of playing, new affection, new ways of affection, right? And then the Six of Pentacles, it's about, again, it's another card of balancing and reciprocity. But this is about also balancing the hierarchy. So when these two things come up, it's about you, the parent, taking your place as the parent, the hierarchy of being the parent, making it known that you're still in charge and that they are still well taken care of, that no matter what changes are happening, that they're not the adult, that it's okay, they can continue being a child and you will take care of them. They need to see tangible evidence. If this is coming up because maybe there's a sense here that little Aries is feeling like they have to start behaving like the adult for some reason. So maybe you're feeling that here coming into August. Maybe you've already felt this in July, where little Aries is starting to feel like they're thinking that maybe they're the boss of you because of all the changes. So here is saying it's okay to balance that out, remind them that you are the caretaker. And sometimes a simple way to remind them of that is by giving them the love and affection that they need. It's very simple. And this reading for me feels very simple this month, in the sense that it's very straightforward. So allow little Aries to be off kilter for a bit. They'll learn some life skills in that, of course, assuming, everyone's safe and everything's good and it's not hurting anyone, especially your little Aries. And continuing to give that love, showing love and affection, and allowing them to explore new things for themselves while also maintaining the hierarchy of parent, child, so that they feel safe, protected during these enormous changes that your family is going through at the current moment. Okay, dear parent, I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you here again. Thank you. Bye.